So how do you actually burn off fat? There's a few ways to do this, and I think I'm going to make a whole course on just how to get rid of fat and burn off calories. And there's ways to do it without really even putting in a lot of effort. I'm going to go through only one way right now because this has to do with the topic of not eating. So you want to do the exact opposite of not eating in order to lose fat. Remember, when you don't eat, your body holds on to fat. The opposite is if you do eat, your body feels a release to give up the fat because it doesn't feel like it's going through a famine. It doesn't feel like it's going to need those reserves or that fuel in the future, so it can get rid of it now. It's fine. It knows that there's plenty of food available now. So the way to make your body rest assured that it doesn't need the extra fat and the extra storage on your body is by eating regularly. And that also burns off calories because if you think about metabolism, the way it works is like a fire. The metabolism is fire, and the way to keep the fire going is to put logs into the fire, to put wood into the fire, right? Well, food is the wood. Food is the logs. So to keep your metabolism up and high and running all day, you just continually to give it some food and let your body digest it and burn off calories by digesting it and keep your metabolism running high. That's how your metabolism works. Your metabolism actually slows down if you stop eating or if you eat drastically less food. Your metabolism will slow down because there's nothing to digest, there's nothing to burn off. So keep your metabolism running high by continually giving it something to burn off. That's a great analogy. It burns because it's like a fire, and food is the logs. So how do you do this? You just stuff yourself all day? Won't you gain weight that way? You actually won't because you'll be able to gauge how hungry you are when you eat smaller meals throughout the day rather than big, large ones. And remember, humans are more closely designed as herbivores than carnivores. And the way herbivores eat is they graze all day, right? Now, you don't have to eat all day. You just want to eat smaller meals throughout the day rather than big, large ones, because that's what carnivores do. Carnivores, like lions, they'll go out, they'll chase their prey, they'll catch this big meal, maybe a zebra. They'll eat as much of it as they can. They get kind of full, kind of stuffed, and then you see them sleeping afterwards to have their body digest all that food. And this happens with house cats too. After my cat eats, he always just wants to sleep. And then they may not eat for like 5 days, maybe for 3 days, maybe the next day. They don't know when they're going to catch their next prey. So carnivores eat big meals spread out. So even if you eat 1, 2, or 3 big meals spread out, that's the way a carnivore eats. But our bodies are designed as herbivores. Long intestines are designed to absorb and digest plants. That doesn't mean we can't ever eat meat, but our bodies are designed so much better for plants because of our long intestine and because of just the way our digestive tract is. Whereas carnivores have a digestive tract that can process meat really, really quickly and it doesn't rot in their intestines because their intestinal tract is so short. So the way that herbivores eat, you see elephants and rhinos, you see deer, you see horses and cows, you see them graze, you see them eating grass or plants quite often throughout the day. Now, cattle doesn't stop eating. It seems like they eat just all day. You don't have to eat all day, but what you want to eat is 5 to 6 mini meals. So you're not eating more food, you're not stuffing yourself, you're just spreading the meals apart. And it's interesting if at one meal you maybe eat less or more than you want and you realize you're either hungrier or more full than you thought you were, because your next meal is coming up only a few hours later, maybe 3 hours or so, the next time you're going to eat, you can gauge whether you want to eat more at that meal or less depending on how full you are at that meal. Whereas when you eat big meals spread out, you can get really, really hungry, even almost famished before your next meal. And whenever you get really famished, you tend to overeat at the next meal. So eating 5 to 6 mini meals also keeps you from not overeating because you can gauge your hunger level so much better. And speaking of hunger levels, I think I mentioned that you want your stomach, your tank, just like a car tank, you want the place that holds your fuel, your stomach, to be 25 to 75% full at any given time so that you're not miserable trying to go at 0% full like a car tank. You know, if a car is at 0%, it's run out of gas, it's stuck, it can't go anywhere. And when you run out of gas or fuel and you get so hungry that you're so irritable and you lose all this energy because you don't have any fuel in your system, but you also don't want to be 100% full. And a car's gas tank isn't usually 100% full if it's getting used, because as you drive it, the gas goes down. And if you're 100% full after eating, you're going to feel so full and stuffed and not feel like you can do anything. So you don't want to be on 0 and you don't want to be on 100. You want your stomach to be full of food to about 25 to 70% full at any given time. And eating 5 to 6 mini meals a day really helps you to maintain that level of always having something in your stomach. And then at night, when you sleep, it doesn't have anything and it can get a break. But during the day, you want to always feel a little bit full. And that really burns off calories because you're consistently giving your body something to burn off, and you're not overloading yourself and you're not overstuffing yourself because you're able to gauge your hunger levels so well. Another thing to keep calories burning off and to keep the fat going away and staying off your body is to do what's called tapering calories. And that's where you eat the most food in the morning when your body needs fuel the most, and then you eat less and less and less as the day goes on. And that way your body can burn off all those calories as the day goes on. If you eat big meals at night, you have to understand your body doesn't burn off any calories, maybe a small amount just to digest the food at night, but it doesn't burn off any calories because you're not moving at night. You're not doing the normal activity during the day, which surprisingly burns off a lot of calories. But at night, your body should be resting. Your stomach should be resting. Everything should be resting and repairing itself. And when you eat a big meal right before bed, not only can you not rest anymore because now your body has to work to digest all that food, but because your body can't use that food and burn it off and use it as fuel and energy, it goes straight to storage and straight to fat. And so if you notice that you are overweight and struggling to lose weight, but you eat a lot of food before bed, try to not eat a lot of food before bed. Try to instead switch the cycle so that you eat a lot of food in the morning and then you eat less and less and less. You're not eating. You're eating enough to make you feel full and satiated and eating 5 to 6 mini meals throughout the day, but the amount of food at each meal gets less and less and less and less until at night or in the evening, you're eating a very, very light meal, maybe fruit, maybe a light salad or something, or soup. You're eating really, really light at dinner time so that you go to bed on a near empty stomach. And that way, in the morning, you'll actually want to eat a big meal because you will be hungry because you don't have a lot in your stomach, especially because your body digested that small meal overnight. Now, I know many people have family dinners at night, and you can still eat light and still enjoy other people's company. It may be a little bit harder because when you see other people eat, you want to eat the same thing. But you have to understand the way the body works is it's not designed to eat a lot at night. If you think about animals in the wild, they don't wait until the evening to go catch their food. They get up bright and early in the morning and look for food because there's more of a chance for them to find food during the daylight hours, and because their body needs food the most in the morning when they're up and alert and ready to be productive. And it's the same with humans. We are on our way to work. We need energy to go to work and be productive and contribute to society. And when you skip breakfast, you're doing your body a lot of harm. And it's going to keep you overweight because you eventually overeat later on in the day, especially if you overeat in the evening. It's going to put all of that stuff straight onto storage.